Hi, I have a co-host today.
Nice.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Right Now, the writing show where I host and I have no idea what I'm doing. Today's guest is Adriano. Did I pronounce that right?
You got it. Yeah.
It looks like how it's spelled. So
Yes, that's right.
this is my first back-to-back episode, and then I did one yesterday, and now I'm doing one today. So that's a certain milestone. And if you were tuning in, I appreciate it. Adriano currently has a interesting campaign that's live that's got a Project We Love badge, and it made me mad when I went to comics on Kickstarter category and I saw it on like the first page for searching.
Yeah.
And then I was like, "Where's mine?" And I like had to scroll for 5 minutes, and I'm like, "Oh, there I am at the bottom." So congrats on the success,
Thank
and
you. Yeah.
we're here to talk about it.
Right
So
on.
take it away. Tell us all about crazy latte thing called love.
Yeah, so Crazy Latte thing called Love. It's my third campaign on Kickstarter. It's doing pretty well. Like you said, it's got the project we love and all that business. So it's going pretty well. We're getting close to we're just over 200% funded, so we're getting close to another stretch goal very soon. So hoping to see some new pledges roll in. Um, but yeah, we're doing really well. Can't complain. It's a story of love at first sight gone awry. It's it may or may not be a one-sided love at first sight. So it's all about how that
That's,
plays out.
that sounds like stalking.
A little bit. I mean, the cover kind of tells the story a little bit, but I don't want to
It
give too much away.
it does give a good sense. I mean, you got crazy, you got love in the title. You got she looks like she's in a burglar's outfit. She's cutting the fence. You're giving off a lot of nice vibes.
Right on. That's the intent. Yeah. So yeah, Mattia Monaco. If you read Chicken Devils, so the sequel to Chicken Devil, he's the artist on this one. So yeah, he's really knocked it out of the park. So I
I
think
think the art fits the vibe very well.
yeah, he really did well with it. So a lot of credit going to him because I didn't give him that much to work with. He really ran with it. So very thrilled with how it turned out. But
That's a
yeah,
great panel with the cloud kind of covering his face.
yeah, right. That was like almost unprompted. It's like he sees her, and it's like out of a movie where she's all he could see, and that's what came of it. So again, good credit to Mattia for figuring that out.
I also so give a we were talking a little bit about the title before we went live. So just
Mhm.
because you were saying how the younger generation won't realize that it's a song title.
That's right. Yeah. So I was, I brainstormed a few titles. Right. I landed on this one just because obviously it kind of rolls off the tongue given the source material. Right.
So
So
I do have a question.
yeah,
So the latte joint is called the coffee shop or whatever. It's called Crazy Latte.
yeah.
Was that before or after you came up with the title?
That was after. So
I
the
I
title came
I,
first.
I would have assumed so because that would be quite a coincidence if you
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
trying
Not that clever. Uh,
no,
but
but it
yeah.
works.
So
So we got here are all the variants looking good.
yeah, yeah.
I I love that he's a bobblehead. That's great.
That was like a surprise variant. Like so when I was given he sent me about four different concepts for covers, and that he sent me that one. I'm like, you know what? I'll get two off of you. Just can you finish two for me? Because I like that one so much. So
This is a good one too. The classic romance cover with the coffee.
yeah, yeah. So that's our frankly my dear variant. That's
Frankly, my dear.
yeah,
And
yeah.
then the groovy variant where he's
Yeah.
you know what? Because if I'm getting the story right, this is probably how this guy pictures himself, right?
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Little army of darkness going.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so some couple homage variants there to kind of
So
round it out.
I'm gonna ask you a question that
Yeah,
I get asked all the time, and I
sure.
hate it.
All right,
So
looking forward to
so
it.
I put out a lot of one shots, and whenever
Hmm.
I do interviews, people always say, "Is there going to be a follow up?" So my answer to that is, if there was going to be a follow up, I wouldn't call it a one shot. I would
Yes.
call it. It's the first parter of a two-parter.
Correct.
So, so what are you thinking? Is this how does the end? Is it like a definitive ending? Do you leave the
It
door
is the
open?
definitive ending. It's a one shot. Yeah, it's intended to be a beginning, middle, and end, full story.
Now here's the next question I always get. I like this. I'm a host now. I get to ask all these questions that are annoying. Would you ever revisit these characters in this universe?
Arguably, it's possible. I mean,
So 4 years ago, I put out a book called The Macabre Motel. Same exact thing. It was a one shot. Everybody asked me those same questions.
yeah,
Is there a follow-up? Not planned. And I say,
yeah,
I never say never to anything. And it turns out I'm putting out a sequel this year. So
right on. Yeah, I mean, again, the ending's kind of finite, but there's no reason why it couldn't continue. It would be something a little different,
it's
right?
about that spark.
Yeah,
If like I'm not planning anything, I wasn't planning a sequel to the Macabre Motel, but if somehow an idea just popped into my head and I ran with
yeah,
it, so that's what I
right on.
decided to do. So that's kind of how it goes. I have to refix Facebook because it never wants to stream properly. Let's see.
It's all Meta's fault.
It's always Meta's fault. Whenever I'm looking at it and I'm expecting to fix it, it never messes up. And then when I
Yeah,
go right into the show and I'm not paying attention, that's when it says that
that's what it's just suddenly
yeah. But
down.
now it's kind of good. It's all good now. So let's see
Right
how much time you got left to your campaign. You got 18 days. You're going well
Yeah,
into June.
yeah. So we're a third of the way through. So pretty good start.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a good start, rocking and rolling. Love the
yeah.
vibe, love the title.
Thank you.
I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, yeah.
So now let's get to the main event,
Let's
which
do it.
is right now. So for those, I wonder if you could hear my wife yelling at my kids in the background. You know what's great about that is it has nothing to do with me. So the way this show works is I'm going to start writing a sentence. Adriano is going to write a sentence after me, and hopefully we come up with some semblance of a story when we go sentence for sentence. The way it works, though, is that every sentence has to qualify by having a certain type of element on it based on the theme. The theme for this episode is light or heavy, which is something a bit different. I haven't done something like this before, but the overall object is to, in the sentence, talk about something either really light or really heavy. Now, it seems complicated, but hopefully if my plan works out, I'm going to put us in an environment that offers us tons of opportunities to play around with this idea. Okay. So
I'm trusting you here. Yeah.
That's a terrible idea. Don't trust me. Please don't trust me. Sorry. Any questions before we rock and roll?
I think let's see how it goes. I'm ready. No questions.
All right. So I got to start this sentence. So we're gonna when Professor, let's just call him Professor Putz, entered the laboratory, he knew it was going to be a troublesome day when he saw his assistant, Roger, floating on the ceiling. So the basic idea is we're in a science laboratory where they experiment with a whole bunch of different stuff, and Roger is now light. He's floating. So the idea is if we're in a crazy mad scientist lab, we can play around with the idea of light and heavy all the time. That's the thought. So this was actually inspired by a game called Quantum Conundrum. You familiar with this game?
I'm not.
Nobody's familiar with this game.
So
right. You could feel free to go on the next sentence, and I will ramble on about Quantum Conundrum.
Go for it.
So Quantum Conundrum is it's kind of like imagine Portal except for kids.
Okay.
Are you familiar with Portal?
Yes.
Everybody
That
loves
one I
Portal.
got. Yeah.
Everybody loves Portal. So let's get a good image going. No, that's not a good image of the game. Yeah, it's pretty good. So I'm going to share this tab really quick so that we can see this image. Quantum Conundrum. So it's about this mad scientist, and what he does is he has a whole bunch of guns, and they shoot. And like Portal, instead of making portals, they basically play around with the physics of stuff. Stuff gets very heavy, stuff gets very light. So that's the inspiration for this theme,
Nice.
and we shall see whether or not it's successful, or if I took a swing and miss. That happened. That can happen too.
I'm gonna do my best to try and make this a win. We'll see.
Thinking quickly, he's got to get so he's. I'm thinking now, if he's got to get Roger down, he's got to make something heavy, right?
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
The idea is we want to play around with physics,
right.
in this story. He grabs a nearby.
Try to think of what's nearby.
That's filling with items. That's all right. Clever. We're gonna make a heavy garbage can.
Yeah.
So you actually sent me an email earlier this week, or maybe yesterday, accepting my story, right? For the big smoke pulp.
That's right.
So Adriano has a anthology he's putting it together, and I wrote a drabble for it, which is exactly 100 words. I actually wrote it while I was walking back from the gym.
That's talent right there. That's
well, that's the, I did voice to text. So I put out weekly drabbles every Friday. So I write at least one a week, and I always do it voice to text. And I go to wordcounter.net and I just voice to text right into it. And then talking 100 words is nothing. I think I've said 100 words in the sentence. So what do we got there?
It's all in the edit.
Thinking quickly, Professor Putz grabbed a nearby garbage bin, filling with items from the room and tying a rope to the end of it. Okay. Now let's make, he's going to bring Roger down. So why am I not typing correctly? Using the skills he picked up that one summer he worked as a rodeo clown, Putz lassoed the rope around Roger and pulled him to the floor. I guess works. It made him heavy by pulling him down. It's my show. I get to say what works.
I like it. All right.
So I think this is a good time for some dialogue. If you wanted to do that, you don't have to. You could do whatever you want to do.
I'll go for it.
You can decide to have a solar flare, kill all electromagnets.
Just stir it over.
just destroy everything. That could work too. You didn't eat that sandwich labeled "Do not eat." Did you? I'm well, so we want to get a dialogue tag in there, so that's obviously Professor Putz saying.
Yeah, let's do that.
And I think in order to get your heavier light element in there, you should give the sandwich a name.
Oh yeah, I like
give
that.
It, yes. I don't know, bubble sandwich, because he floated.
Yeah. What
Did
can I
not eat
call
that
it?
sandwich labeled "Do not eat." Bubble experiment or
Yeah, that's
something. That's a
something
good
like
one.
that. Yeah, I'll go with it.
Bubble experiment. Did you? Putz asked. Okay,
I'm trying to tee you up here.
you did. You did. Um, let's see. Roger sighed and said, "I was so hungry after drinking the I'm trying to think of something dumb. Drinking um the experimental. Everything's going to be experimental. We're going to use experimental 50 times in the story. I was so hungry after I'm going to take that out because we were going to use it so much.
We need some
Drinking
synonyms here.
drinking that protein shake
Well done.
we made last week. That's supposed to put on 50 pounds of muscle instantly. This might be our goofiest story yet. I'm the quantum conundrum. It's a great game. I wish more people played it because it's like it's Kitty Portal, you know. It's
Yeah,
like
that's
it's
fair.
supposed to be goofy. You said so.
Oh,
It's like you go into this mad scientist, and then he's got guns that you shoot, and it like turns the floor into like a pillow that you just like jump on, like a bouncy pillow. It's a
nice.
fun game. It was a fun game. Roger sighed and said, "I was so hungry after drinking that protein shake we made last week that's supposed to put on 50 pounds of muscle instantly." Straining as he picked up a small tablet. Why is he straining? Is he like super weak?
It's very heavy
It's a
tablet.
heavy it's a heavy small tablet. As he
That's right.
picked
That's
up a small tablet from the table nearby. Small. I'm going to add to this, but computationally complex tablet. So
right.
it's dense. That's
I
what
like
made it heavy.
it.
From the table nearby, hands it to Roger. Hands it to Roger. I'm going to put a dialogue tag here and said, "Take this so you don't float away again." Perfect. Perfect.
This
This
is
is
why
like
editors are important.
table nearby. Hold on. Handed it to Roger because it's past tense. Take this so you don't float away. This is giving me
Again, editors important, right?
it's a team sport on here already. I think this is reminding me of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory when they drink the soda and then they float up to the fan.
Yeah.
And take this so you don't float away. Here. This is going to throw a wrench into the mix. Strangely, Roger held the tablet and found it to be super light as he tossed it back and forth. As he surprisingly tossed it back and forth. As he tossed it back and forth from both hands. So, I don't know how. I don't know why. But the tablet that was super heavy for Putz is super light for Roger.
Interesting.
I'm gonna have to throw a we're gonna have to get some sort of like what's the word I'm looking for?
Conflict.
Conflict. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Right. The word for writing 101 that they teach you the first day of every writing class. The stories need to have a conflict.
Yeah. Let's figure that out.
I mean, we have elements of a conflict, but it needs to be focused.
Mm-hmm.
What are we gonna do? Give you a little space. Wait a sec. You confused me. Straight easy picked up a small, but when you said tablet, I thought you were talking about like an iPad.
Oh no.
You're talking about like a pill. Okay.
Pill. Yeah, maybe that helps.
See, that's why he's tossing it back and forth in both hands. You're like, what is he tossing a tablet? So how do we fix this? Roger swallowed.
He can still toss it between them.
Yeah, he can still. So
right?
Okay,
that still
tablet
works.
It does still work. It weird. Oddly enough, it does work. Roger swallowed the tablet and immediately crashed through the floor. All right. At that point, you're calling him Professor Putz. I'm just calling him Putz.
Yeah.
At that point, Putz expected foul play when he looked to the garbage bin and realized Frank just hit the caps lock. Garbage bin and realized gravity was the gravity was off in the room. No, we're going to change the structure of the sentence. At that point, Putz expected foul play when he looked to the garbage bin and found it caving in on itself. Realizing someone had tampered with the gravity in the room. All right, so something's going on. People are somebody's Goldilocks has been messing with their lab.
I'm trying to think of how to say this thing I'm thinking. All right.
What is this? Let's get rid of
that. I'm just gonna type this out and maybe I'll fix it.
That's literally the job of every writer. I'm just gonna type this.
Let me get past this spot so I can get to the next one, and then I'll double back. Vacuum's always the word I have a struggle with.
Vacuum. Yeah, you got two U's. It's a weird one. Do you like any sports up there in Toronto?
Oh yeah. What do you want to talk about?
We're not going to talk about that. Well, you got baseball, right? You got
let's not talk about the Jays. Yeah, they're
and then we have hockey, right? The Maple Leafs.
Another sore spot. I'm a Red Wings fan myself, but I suffer with the city at the same time. So
I don't follow really hockey or basketball that much, but my friends are going for the Knicks and the Rangers.
Nice.
Both playing well at the same time.
Yeah. Rangers are doing really well.
Do you still have the Raptors up there? Are they still in Toronto?
Yeah, they're brutal. Yeah, they're brutal. Right now, our best team is Toronto FC, our soccer team. They were Yeah, they were awful last year, and they're actually doing pretty damn well now. So
Before he
yeah.
could walk to the switch, a vacuum where Roger fell through the floor, right?
Right. Uh,
Through. I'm gonna put the. I'll help you out here a little. The
thanks.
floor began. You keep wanting to do present tense.
Yeah, so whenever I'm writing things, I jump back and forth, and then it's just a long edit of me going, okay, pick one. So
Before he could walk
I'm
to the switch,
exposed
a
here.
vacuum where Roger fell through the floor began to pull putts towards it.
That's English, at least, right? I think. Yeah.
Yeah, it works.
But yeah, so the sports here are not going well, except for one.
There we go. With no time to lose, Putz activated his suction boots and stuck
I like
himself
that.
to the tile.
All right.
So I threw in the foul play there. We're going to need to address that at some point. You don't have to do it now. But I don't know. We could do two things. We could either have like a villain, or maybe there wasn't foul play and they're just idiots.
Yeah, that's a okay. Let me see.
Yeah, there's a lot to play around in here,
right?
You know what this reminds me of? I was reading something about the Green Goblin, and Stan Lee was talking about how he came up with the Green Goblin. And he's like, yeah, the way he had it was he's got his pouch full of bombs, pumpkin bombs, and he's like, whatever he needed to do, he just pulled out a pumpkin bomb that did it. There wasn't any sophistication to it. He needed to blow explosion, pumpkin bomb. He needed
just
to
had an
freeze
answer.
somebody, pumpkin bomb. Yeah. You need to electrocute somebody, pumpkin bomb.
All right. Oh,
so if we're in a mad scientist lab where they do a whole bunch of experiments, whatever they need is
there. Yeah,
is there.
They can create whatever they require. All right.
So who are some of your favorite mad scientists?
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a good. We never asked that question. Everyone's like, "Who's your favorite superhero?" No,
right? Mad scientist. I don't even know.
I mean, you got Dr. Frankenstein is a great one.
Yeah.
You got Dr. Moreau from H.G. Wells. I'm a big fan of Hugo Strange.
That's a good one. Yeah.
I like villains that aren't like physically imposing, but they find ways to torture and challenge the hero.
Yeah,
he's a good one because he's not gonna get into a fist fight with Batman, but he's still a pain in the ass.
That's a good one. Yeah, I don't know. Have to put some thought into that.
Well, finish your sentence and then
let's do that. So split brained. Yeah.
I think all right, that will work.
Yeah.
I typically don't like to use the same thing twice.
Yeah.
But this is not really the same thing twice. We're finding out that the switch doesn't work. So I think you know what you need to do? You need to give an example of how the gravity remained out of whack.
Yes.
That's
I like this isn't enough. This is just like
it just says what happens, but you
need right?
You need to give an example. You need some sort of description. But the gravity remained out of whack as Putz's glasses cracked.
Yeah.
Cracked into dust.
I like that. I'm gonna take it. Yeah.
Into dust.
All right.
How much time do we have? How long have we been doing this? 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Right. So All right,
We got to get to the point soon.
I'm gonna do it now. I'm gonna bring it. I'm gonna add this to the last paragraph. Suddenly, a video monitor.
All right.
No, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that.
A very old school of you.
Yeah. I want to provide some context here. So, how should I do this? Here, I got it. Right? I got it. Suddenly, I just wrote the same word again. Suddenly, Roger bounced up through the hole using his spring boots. I don't know, boots, but I feel like everything they got special boots all over.
They're all wearing special shoes in this
Suddenly,
building.
Roger bounced up through the hole using his spring boots and declared, "This is all my fault because I blacked out last night after drinking our hangover-proof moonshine." So there's no foul play. It was just Roger's alcoholism.
Fair. All right. I like it.
So there's no. What I was gonna do is I was gonna have a villain pop on the screen and be like, "Hi, Putz, it's me again. Your old nemesis." Like
I thought that's where it was going. This
that's
is
what
a
I was
good.
doing, but I decided to just make it up to their own incompetence.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of goofy scientists screwing with the laws of nature, playing God
For their own libation. All right.
So Putz must not be too happy about this.
Right? Where do we go with this?
You didn't come up with a villain, mad scientist.
I didn't. Oh
No,
man.
we'll have to do it next time. I'll have to write a longer sentence.
Yeah, that's right. All right. Okay, so what problems do we still have? We solved the problem with it.
I don't think we have any like problems. They
Yeah.
just have the overall problem that the lab has been screwed with,
and it's still screwed.
Yeah. So there's no the conflict here is the fact that they have no idea what's wrong because Roger was blackout drunk and screwed with all of the experiments. That's the conflict.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let me start with that.
I guess the hangover-proof moonshine worked, though.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem sick. Damn, Roger. So Roger drank moonshine. He drank a protein shake and then ate a bubble sandwich.
So I'm envisioning a large, a large gentleman.
Possibly. Tell me you didn't do anything to the lab rats. That's ominous, but you got to get a heavier light element.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
What type of lab rats? To the
right? What's the like? What's a good word for weighted or enlarged or
just use levitating.
Yeah.
The levitating lab rats? That's a scary thought.
Oh, not Roger. That's all right.
All right, here we go. You think of mad scientists.
I want three. Oh my goodness, I'm having a hard time with one.
You know what the thing is? You could technically call Mr. Freeze a mad scientist, right?
Yeah.
But he doesn't count. I wouldn't count him because he's a physical threat to Batman.
That's fair.
So
right,
Yeah, that cat. I'm being very narrow with the category. They need to be mad scientists
They should be
that,
actual mad
yeah,
scientists. Like I just
that
don't know
aren't physical threats.
aren't physical threats.
Tell me
Oh
to.
man.
Roger
Ooh.
stammered and looked over to find the flying lab rats had grown wings.
Okay, cool. Um, oh man, you know what my problem is? In my head, all I can picture is, do you remember like the Weird Al show?
The Weird Al show. No, I never watched the actual show.
There was like a Saturday morning
I know it
show
exists. It
that
was very
like
short lived.
very short-lived.
It
And
was very
yeah, I
short.
don't know. That's the image I have in my head. When you're saying mad scientist, I'm picturing Weird Al on his Saturday morning show. And that does not qualify for this this example.
Weird Al's mad scientist. The closest thing I
Yeah.
can think of is when he dressed up as Madonna for like a surgeon. He had a
Yeah.
little he had a little mad scientist vibes there.
Yeah, yeah. Bill Nye the Science Guy, does he count? He's like a real mad scientist. Now we're just going through Saturday morning live action business.
Professor Oak.
I
I mean, what's
he's
more mad scientist than giving a little kid an electric mouse and sending him on his way?
yeah, he's just abusive, I think, right? Like
All right.
I'm
Well,
trying not to start with the same thing over and over. I think okay, I don't think I started with this.
so at this point, it's just like a bunch of it's just these guys being kooky and trying to minimize the damage in their lab.
That's right.
I'm gonna throw. I gotta feel like I have to throw a big curveball into the mix, though. Oh, I know exactly what I'm gonna do, and you are gonna hate it.
Great.
Upon closer inspection, Putz and Roger could see that the flying. You forgot flying rats.
Oh my goodness.
Flying rats chewed through the heavy cables that were now hanging.
I feel like I cheated with that one, but I'm
That's
gonna run
fine.
with it. Hanging from a V would be nice. Okay.
Yeah,
Goodness. Editing. All right.
A pit dropped in Putz's stomach when he realized the cables were to the. I need to come up with some stupid science word. To the astro celestial fuel
Inhibitor.
fuel inhibitor.
Yeah.
And leaked onto the floor, causing a micro black hole to form.
Okay.
That's my it's the heaviest thing in all of existence.
Now what?
I win.
Oh.
Celestial fuel inhibitor. I've been watching a lot of Star Trek, and they don't do this so much in the older shows, but I'm watching Discovery now, and they've gotten kind of ridiculous with the sci-fi. They're throwing out nonsense. Like it just
like, put something sciencey sounding in there. That'll be.
I was watching it. I'm kind of like I read a lot of National Geographic, so I understand the buzzwords as far as like astrophysics is concerned. And I'm like, they're pulling from real stuff to make all this, and now it's just like completely out of the realm of possibility. One show, I mean, they do that, but it sounds good. A show that does that doesn't sound good is The Flash. You ever watch The Flash on CW?
Yeah, they're
They
just
pull
like,
some bullshit science right out of their ass.
well,
None of
it's
it
your
is.
Green Goblin example, right? Just like, oh, I know how to solve this. I have this gun that,
Their
yeah.
big thing was tachyons. We need to
Yes.
grab the tachyon ray.
Oh goodness. Yeah. Okay. How do I solve
Is
this
that how
now?
you're gonna? That's how you're gonna solve the black
That's
hole
how I'm gonna
problem?
solve this.
They're
Just tachyons. Done. Period.
grab some nearby tachyons and throw them in the black hole. You got to grab your tachyon pumpkin bomb.
Oh man.
I got to bring that back. I want to make a Green Goblin character, and he has like a quantum pumpkin bomb, a tachyon
I like
pumpkin.
it.
Where do we go from black hole? Oh,
Right.
there's no way to go but down. But I was trying to explain to my wife what gravity is the other day, which is it's the curvature of space-time. Like that's the actual scientific definition of it.
Right on.
And she was like, it kind of like blew her mind to try to like imagine it.
That's fair. That's fair.
I mean, it's a weird concept to think of like existence as a flat plane. And then when you throw a giant planet into the flat plane, it causes that plane to bubble, which bends space-time, causing things to come around. It's weird. It's just a weird concept. Putz broke the nearby window, throwing a heavy chair through. I love how we went from black hole to it's just a heavy chair. It's just
I'm gonna keep it simple.
so much for tachyons. Putz broke the nearby window by throwing a heavy chair through it.
I'm gonna get rid of that first it.
Hold on. Putz, how do we make this pretty? Putz broke through the nearby window by throwing a heavy chair through it. And jumped outside.
It is present tense. Yeah, jumped outside. Yeah, so I'm not doing outside. it.
All right. So and jumped outside. Done. All right, that works. Is that you happy with it?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So we are at 43 minutes. This is the part we'll do 3 for 3, which means anybody who watched the show knows each of us will have 3 sentences left. We're going to still alternate, but at least now we know that we have 6 sentences total, and we will start to wind down and put a bow on this catastrophe. Putz broke the nearby window by throwing a heavy chair through. By throwing a heavy chair. No.
Yeah.
Through the glass. I think
through the glass. There you go.
The glass of the it. And jumped outside.
That's better.
Roger followed him out, and the two, let's say, fell 3 stories onto the grass and rolled away just in time to see the entire lab, which was fortunately empty of people,
Very Zack Snyder of you.
into the black hole. Is a singularity the same as a black hole? I think so.
I won't challenge you on that.
Is a singularity a black hole? A singularity is a point at the center of a black hole that has infinite density. So it's a specific point on a black hole.
It works for this scenario.
You know what? If the Flash can if the Flash can air on CW, having the most ridiculous scientific,
I think we're good here. Yeah.
So that's my first sentence. You got 2 more.
2 more.
You know what? Okay. I think this is working out well. It's a challenging episode, but I think I think
Yeah, you didn't give me an easy one, eh?
but we made it work. We made it work.
It's been going all right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the most Canadian thing that you've said so far.
Is it? Did I let
You didn't
slip?
give me an easy one, eh?
Yeah, it comes through sometimes. Okay. So now they're just, what are they? They're sitting in the parking lot on the grass.
They're on the grass. Yeah, so their lab is gone. So
Hmm.
I didn't think about that afterwards.
Right?
Now,
It's
now
like,
we got to figure
okay.
out more heavy stuff. But we still have 5 more sentences, so
Hmm.
any number of things can happen. Maybe they got stuff on their person.
Hmm.
I left you with a little bit of a quantum conundrum. Oh,
I'm gonna stall, I think.
what other games? I played another game that was cool. Those Portal games that are like puzzle games, they're always fun. I like to be challenged with puzzle games.
Yeah.
Is that your heavy element? I only had a light lunch. It works.
Yeah.
I can't knock it if it works. Well, I only had a light lunch today, so I'm gonna have another if you're up for it. Roger mused. Um Good thing I came prepared. Putz retorted and pulled. I'm gonna completely change the rules of the game with this one. And pulled out a mini and pulled out a inch long Italian combo sub from his pocket, which then stretched into a foot long. So it didn't exactly become heavy, but it became.
But it's heavier.
You know what? It became heavier. It
Yeah,
had
I'll
to,
take
right?
it. I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
I'll allow it. Survey says.
I like it. I like it. All right.
So I have one more, and you have two more.
Okay. Okay.
Somehow, food became like a central part of this story.
Yeah.
I think this is no, it's not the first one, but it's one of the only stories that I've written on this that did not really have a villain.
Yeah, it was just their ineptitude.
It's just there wasn't really any fighting. But you know what? dumb scientists are always a good time. Oh, you know who's a good one? Dexter from Dexter's Laboratory.
That's a good one.
It is a good one, right? You were thinking Dexter like the serial killer?
Well, he's not much of a scientist. He's a scientist. He is.
He's a scientist and he's mad, but I wouldn't call him a mad scientist.
Yeah. Yeah.
His madness doesn't come across in his obsession over blood. He's not like rubbing it on his face or anything.
No, that would be a giveaway, I would think.
And sticking with the Cartoon Network, what about who's the evil monkey that fights the Powerpuff Girls? Mojo
Jojo.
Mojo Jojo. Is
That
he
just
a
came to
scientist?
me. I think so.
He looks like a scientist.
Yeah.
You know who he reminds me of? Is this Tri-Brain a thing? Tri-Brain. That's not his name, but he's a Sentry villain. Do you know who I'm talking about or no? Cranio. Are you familiar with the villain? Cranio, Marvel villain. Well, you keep writing and I'll pull him up. Here we go. Roger and Putt started to chow down on the footlong when the one small flying lab rats. Oh, are they going to survive the black hole?
Yeah.
When the one small flying lab rats emerged from the black hole at 3 times.
There's a better way to write that, but
Well, let's see. Roger and Putz started chow down the footlong when. No, you don't need a comma there.
Mm-hmm.
When the one small flying lab rats emerged from the black hole at 3 times their size. Just 3? Come on, let's get some monstrous rats going. So anyway, share this tab instead. So that's Cranio.
Okay, yeah, not familiar.
So you know the premise behind Sentry? He's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
So that's the 60s version of Cranio.
Okay.
And then this is like the updated version.
Okay.
So he's got like instead of having the brains stacked on one another, they're kind of like
they're more stylish.
I'm a weird Sentry fan.
Right on.
I love
someone has to be.
he's a bit of a weirdo. I enjoy him. So we each have one sentence left, and now we have a problem. We got flying.
But now I really threw a wrench in this.
So with 2 sentences left, we somehow have a problem. Flying labs emerged from the black hole at 3 times their size. Roger and Putz both look to each other in fear, but their terror compounded when the black hole's radiation caused the rats to meld together into one single horrifying creature of immense proportions. That just kept on going. All right, so I left you with
an even bigger problem.
An even bigger, no pun intended, an even bigger problem. But so I think you can end this on a very happy and light note with one single sentence.
Okay. That feels like a challenge in itself.
Well, I know what I would do, but I'm not going to tell you what to do.
All right. See if we were on the same track. I have an idea. I'm just trying to figure out how to word it. And trying to think of a mad scientist. I'm still blocked. All right.
Let's see what we got. You know what you want to do, or you're still a little caught?
I think I know where I'm going. I'm just trying to figure out
how to get there.
How to make it in the English language instead of whatever's going on.
That's the hardest part of being a writer.
Yeah, so I could see it.
Figuring out how to put your ideas into language.
Yeah,
it'd be so easy if we didn't have to do that. If we could just like think the story into fruition.
Right.
The giant creature. God, we're not even describing. We're doing the whole the H.P. Lovecraft School of Writing. The creature was so horrifying, it was indescribable.
Yeah. I'll take it. Yeah. You already said terrified, right?
Yeah, so. I threw a bunch in that. I used terror, horrifying.
Yeah. All right, I'm just gonna use some 3rd grade language.
Creature lumbered over to the 2 scared. That works.
Great. Keep it simple. Yeah.
There's there's so many funny ways to end this. Jake, you got need a casting a
spell things right.
we need a
The heaviness
lighter,
or the light
we need
heavy.
something. I think you could put an adjective in front of shadow to satisfy it.
Yep.
Casting a
what's a
I don't know
word for
bulbous. Bulbous will work. Let's just go with bulbous. Why? It looks like it should be a heavy word, right?
Yeah, right. I'll take
the
it.
giant creature lumbered over to the two scared scientists, casting a bulbous shadow over them and snatched the full log from the grass, swallowing it whole.
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna write one more sentence to end it.
Okay, cool.
You mind?
Yeah, go for it.
Delicious. The beast said.
I like it.
No, what would it instead of said? What should be the dialogue tag?
Burps.
Chirped with a smile. Why not? That was a good one.
And silly.
That was a goofy episode. Yeah. All right. We're gonna stop sharing for a sec. Now this is a new thing that I started last episode that I'm gonna keep going.
All
what
right.
if you had to guess how many words do you think we wrote?
We wrote 550 words.
550 words. The last one was 650. So I'm gonna go with 650. You could go with 550. And the answer is 573.
Oh, all right. I've been reading a lot of short stories lately. Look at that.
So before we depart, tell us about crazy latte thing called love again.
Right on. So yeah, it's a crazy latte thing called love. Got a couple weeks left, so ends June 9th is the last day of the campaign. We got lots of variant covers available. If you like more than one, I highly recommend a bundle. You get a nice deal that way, and those bundles won't come back after the campaign. So if you want more than one, look at the bundles. And if you keep your eyes on the campaign, there might be some more surprises to come. So what you see here isn't everything. Oh, and the biggest thing, free shipping. It's all built in. How do I forget that? Worldwide. I figured it out. I don't know. I didn't figure it out. I'm taking a huge risk, but go for it. Make me pay for
it. That's you're playing with fire, my friend.
Yeah, like make me suffer. Go nuts. Order everything, and we'll see if I can figure out the shipping business. But yeah, including the shipping. So absolutely go nuts.
It's a very fun looking. I think that we need more romance-oriented comics, not comics that are like romance stories, but are romance used as a jumping off point to tell another story, which is what yours looks like it's doing. It's not two people just like you said. It's only love at first sight for one of them, which makes for a very interesting premise. So I hope people check it out because it looks awesome.
Hopefully. Thank you.
All right, where can people find you on the interwebs?
Right, so I'm Pesto Comics on everything. So pestocomics.com is my website, and at Pesto Comics is almost every social you could find. I'm more active on some than others, but you can find me.
Is Pesto Comics on OnlyFans too? That's where I can find you.
Not yet. Once I figure that out, we'll get on there too.
Coming soon. So
yeah.
Thank you for coming on. Thank you for watching. This was another fun episode, and until next time, adios.